It's Pastor Kim coming to you with a midweek message. I just read a sermon which got me all up in arms. I didn't write it, but it was one that I wish I had. My reaction to the words I read were instant. Yes, that's right. That's so true. Preach it. I have experienced this, so have loved ones. I'm going to write about this too. This is going to be exposed for what it is. What, you may ask, has stirred such passion within your pastor's heart? The preacher Samuel Wells wrote a very thoughtful sermon about something he considers to be worse than bullying and the mistreatment of others. Worse even than injustice. Or maybe it's the worst kind of bullying. The worst kind of mistreatment. What could be worse than those things? Well, according to Samuel Wells, what's worse is indifference. Indifference in the face of mistreatment and injustice. I know from personal experience how indifference strengthens the bully. With no one taking a stand against the bullying behavior, it will continue to grow and grow. There will be victims. Sometimes the harm done will be inconsequential, but sometimes indifference to bullying, to mistreatment, to injustice can turn someone's whole world upside down. It can literally end someone's world. Reading Wells' sermon made me feel, indignant. His words and his ideas drudged up all kinds of memories of toxic behavior that was allowed to destroy. Personal memories and memories from society in general. I made a mental list. First and foremost were the bullies, the mistreaters, those who actively sought to harm others, some whose names I knew and more whose names I didn't. And they were followed by many others, those who watched and did nothing. People who were indifferent to what was happening and the suffering it was causing because of either disbelief or cowardice or a lack of will to do the right thing and make it stop. Indifference. Indignant and self-righteous, I vowed to crusade against the evil that is indifference. And then I turned on the TV to the news. COVID-19 cases are spiking. Arguments about best practices to slow or stop the spread continue. Information is trusted or not trusted depending upon the source. Pride Month is observed in a much more subdued manner this year. But the Supreme Court rescued the rights of LGBTQIA+ people, which were very nearly, taken away. And protests and marches and drive-ins continue in the light of the deaths of unarmed African Americans by police. We read and we listen, we watch and we learn about the systemic racism that has been there in place since before this country was founded. Reforms in so many parts of our infrastructure are desperately needed, but we can't agree about how to move forward. Plus, there's all of the simple human drama taking place in each of our own lives, struggles as varied as the people who live with them. You know, I was about to change the channel to watch something more pleasant than the news. And then it hit me. I was looking at the horror, but was about to leave CNN because I am indifferent. Open my eyes, my heart, and my mind, Lord. Do the same for all of us. Spare us from the fatigue of bad news and a sense that we have no influence on the world around us. because we do, and we can. And we are called to use our influence to fight the evils around us, the worst of which just might be indifference.